Hello everyone, welcome back for more Stanley Parables, the game that never ends. My goodness, it's fantastic. And as you can see from our little intro here, the last thing I accomplished was actually almost like merging Stanley 1 and Stanley 2 games into one. So it's pretty exciting to see what's going to happen here. We got the bucket, and I'm curious to see if the bucket affects more things. I got a feeling that it will, and that's going to be one of the big goals of tonight is I want to grab that bucket and go run around and see what all we can affect with the bucket. As usual, I'm going to pop our list up here showing you exactly what's taken place in the previous episodes if you want to go back and check out any of those endings. But I'm excited to see what we can get in this episode. Do me a huge favor and smack that like button. Let's get more parables. Here we are. Again, I was hoping that this would still be here because I really wanted to get a chance to try some more stuff with the bucket. I feel like the bucket is going to affect things. You know what? Let's see if it affects like everything.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh no, there's a bucket. I was going to grab the bucket and go right back into that room and close it. Now, someone did point out the achievements to take a look at those and see if there was something I could do. And one of them said, click this door like 5 times.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I like that. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
I'm about to go nuts on this thing.
Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
I don't even know what the count is now.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Okay. Okay, they are going down. It's 420. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Ooh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Is he trying to prove a point about how stupid this is? Here we go.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Clicks or so. Oh, 415. Where's it at? I feel like I'm on like a scavenger hunt. I just don't want him to close some door behind me that I can't get back to.
Now, back to door number 437.
Oh, spilled coffee. Was that there before? Oh, this is great. I didn't expect the achievement to actually...
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
I didn't expect it to be so involved.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Gosh. Oh, man.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Okay, can I get on there? Oh. There's this little box right there, maybe. Come on, let me up. Let me up there. He makes it sound like I can do it.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416. Yeah, there's 417.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Gosh. He's getting so into this. I love it. You know, the narrator is so sarcastic. It's fantastic.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks.
I really did.
Really now. What were you thinking?
Oh, that was great. There was so much more to that than I expected. I liked that. Okay, you know what? So 434, I think I was able to jump out that window.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Let's see. I want to see if this like affects all, because we've done several endings now, and I'm curious to see if it affects more. Can I? Oh, here we go.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history.
What?
Of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein. Of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger. Of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway,
So funny.
meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid!
Sounds like Gollum.
are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
Oh my
As Stanley
gosh.
screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power.
Will
its
it?
fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already
What?
had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again
What?
go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
That's hilarious. That bucket changed everything. Now I'm trying to remember. Well, luckily I got a list kind of showing me
All his coworkers
all the
had
endings
gone.
I've tried.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
I
meeting
wanna
room.
see what
Perhaps
else the
he had
bucket-
simply missed a memo.
Can interfere with. Let's see, any of these machines saying, oh, yeah, here we go. There we go. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. You guys kind of let me know I was on the right track. I just had to keep looking for another monitor. So we're going to continue to do that. This one here, oh, I keep trying to zoom. I mean, it looks like there's more to that. Okay,
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
slightly different. Okay, let's go all the way back to the very first one we did, where we did the happy ending. The very first, if you just follow the narrator. I want to see what happens with the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I love that they've made the bucket such a dramatic character to everything. That's so funny. I wonder what happens in the broom closet.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
More than ever. Oh, that's hilarious. Let's see what happens.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Can I leave the bucket
how
here?
hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and
staying in
lifelong
here.
friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no.
Can I shut the door?
We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
What?
That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient?
What?
That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel
That's
the
mean.
same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
Can I do anything?
Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Doesn't look like anything's happening. I'll just hang out here for a minute.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate. No more discussion.
Stanley.
Take a hike, broom closet.
Love
with all
it.
your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to keep waiting in here, see if it actually gets all the way to an
All
ending.
right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works
It's a
because
bucket
the sticker
sticker.
is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself,
Does it match?
It's a bucket. There really
Nice.
is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
How many stickers he's got?
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
I wonder if those stickers will stay on there even when it resets. I hope it does. That would be so awesome. It's like we're building with this bucket. You know, it got me thinking. It's like, could you imagine the narrator showing up and they're like, okay, here's the next set of lines we need you to read. And he starts reading these lines. Like, if he has no clue what is actually happening, could you imagine how weird that had to be to just read? All this conversation about a bucket all of a sudden. Well, maybe nothing else is going to happen here. Okay. Well, at least I got stickers now. Those are awesome. I like it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Now, when we went down, that's where Stanley went mad. I wonder what happens if you go down here with the bucket. Does the bucket go mad?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And
Ah.
then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms.
Okay.
Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
Return
That's
his
strange,
gaze.
Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps.
Listen to
How
that
did I end
music.
up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
It's gone.
Indeed. Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far
Where's
off
my
in the
bucket?
distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
What is this?
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly
Freaky.
painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
How is this going to be different? This is so
Mariella
wild.
woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
She got the bucket.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This
That's
man
hilarious.
had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter.
That's her
But
bucket.
of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself,
Gosh.
my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Backflipped all the way to work. Wow. That's hilarious. So he still went mad, but now he went mad with the bucket. That's so funny. I feel like we just started the game completely over just because we have access to this
All
bucket
of his
now.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
I wondered if you'd
Click
say
a
it
door
again.
5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No.
No. Hey, he's got
can't
my
just-
stickers.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Oh man, that's so funny. Oh. Okay, we did that. All right, man, it's so hard to decide what to do next. What should I do next?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, yeah, let's keep following. Yeah, let's do some more. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Now that I know this affects like every story, I want to do them all again. That's
Still
so
no
great.
one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley
up.
and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
And you know, there's a few ideas I even had without the bucket that I haven't tried yet. Like I haven't answered that phone yet. I feel like that's kind of a big one. Can I do anything in here with the bucket? What?
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember,
No reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Absolutely. Oh, that's fantastic that we can find those. I thought they were going to be inside that area we were exploring. Knowing that they're spread out here now? Now I really want to find them. Oh, here's a computer monitor, maybe. Well, that's not on. Can I open this now? I can. Okay, let's see what this does if I got the... You guys did confirm to me that it is just a fake elevator, basically. I'm curious if anything different happens with the bucket. I think I had somebody tell me that there's people that have waited like 10 and 20 minutes in here. Nothing happened. Doesn't look like anything's gonna happen here either. Sorry, narrator. I listened to you bebop in there long enough last time. Alright, let's see if we can do the back out thing.
Stepping in.
Okay, well, we know where this ends. But the narrator doesn't talk in this one? Which makes me wonder if he's gonna say anything since I have the bucket, or if the bucket will say anything. Do not alter. Okay. Also trying to keep my eye out, see if there's anything else that's just like randomly changed. My goodness, this is so funny. I hope something's different. This was one ending that I did it twice because I wasn't sure if I did it wrong the first time, but this was one ending that was a little bit of a let down. I was expecting there to be something happen and nothing really did. Okay, I forgot about that part. Yeah, I think we just go up the stairs. Okay, there was nothing different getting all the way to this point. That's why there was a swoosh. Because I knew it was just a bit of a silent walk, but I'm curious to see if anything different happens here with the bucket. Maybe. Narrator doesn't talk though, so I don't know. This is different. We're gonna put the bucket in the escape pod. This is almost disturbing. Man, Stanley sure is passionate about this bucket. Oh. Be free, bucket. Is there more? Or is that just the sound of it blasting off? Okay, that ending has redeemed itself because that was pretty cool. I liked that.
All
My,
of his
oh my.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
The
Stanley
bucket.
decided to go to the meeting
We
room.
set it
Perhaps
free.
he had simply missed a memo.
What? Figurine Finder Committee meeting today in the meeting room. Oh, I want to find more figurines. Now, it did make a little sound as I was getting close. I wonder if I can just listen for that. The bucket's gone. Can I not get it back? Is it gone?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I hope I haven't lost the bucket. I mean, I know I technically let it go, but I thought it was going to be back. Do I have to like go all the way through Stanley Parable 2 again to try to get that? Oh, check this out. Trust the completionist instinct. This is fantastic. Why wouldn't... Okay, what we know, small floating objects have appeared across the office. We have to synergize our resources to ensure their retrieval. There are many questions. Agenda, how How can you tell you spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? There's the one in the bathroom. I found that. Follow clues provided by employee 416. We can do it. Red room. Thank you. Good luck. Everything in here's changed. Okay. Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, they feel pointless, to be honest. Ideas, weird spinning figurines. Why do they... What's that say? Why do they something? They look like 427. Our quarterly success, why floating magic, magnets. They've put so much thought in this. Saw one in the cargo room. Oh, do we need contracts for them? Can we sell them? Potential liability. More money if sold together. How many are there? What do they... What? This is so fun! Oh my gosh. It looks like there's maybe some pictures. Can I get up on the table? Somehow? I feel like sometimes you can glitch up onto chairs, but not always. Okay, what else we got here? We need more planks. Warehouse access plan. Produce one plank to allow ease of access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from the warehouse floor. Construct new structurally sound bridge. Okay, that might represent the bathroom. That one right there in the middle. Okay, we got red door, blue door. Looks like there might be one on the right. We need more planks. That must be the warehouse one they're talking about. Looks like stairs? A fire. Is that a fireplace? I don't know about that top one. What we got here? Places to search. A large room, lots of boxes. Stairs. Something to do with stairs. Something where both blue, red and blue nearby a fireplace. Looks like 4275. There be just take it from me. Gotta collect them all. Is this some kind of game? There must be a point to this. This is amazing. There will be a reward for finding them all. Lies. Who are you? 666 LOL. There will be a cleaning of this wall required. Stop kidding yourselves. I want them so much. I want to go home. Oh gosh, this is awesome. 10 steps to success in the investigation. Take action. Document print. Okay, that one's definitely a bathroom shot. That's the one I found. Okay. So I think the red door, blue door will be easy to get. Beware the false prophet. I don't think I can get to red door, blue door from here because that's the warehouse. Which one of these do I think I can get to from here? Stairs. Maybe there's one. But we just went down the stairs with the bucket. Did I pass it and not know it?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines?
Stanlerines.
Yes, I think I like that. Another
that one.
Stanlerine under your belt.
That's amazing. Oh, I'm so glad those are in the game. I wanted to find those. I like little things like that. In fact, Red Dead Redemption, I saw that there's like all these collectible cards and stuff you can find. If I find all the stuff in that game, I will be blown away, but I really do hope I can still get a bucket back.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief
there's a
who
fireplace.
orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Really?
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
All right.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Since I don't have the bucket, and I don't know if there's any more Stanley... There's one right there.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1?
Very satisfying.
Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so there's one definitely by red door, blue door, and it's talking about with planks building across the warehouse. So both of those I have to go through the right door to get to. So that's it there. We're going to go back to the mind control room. I've had some people tell me that there is some more stuff I can do there. I ain't been there, I think, since episode 1. So we're going to see what else we can find.
Descending deeper into the building,
I wish I had my
Stanley
bucket.
realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his
Missed my
chest,
bucket.
as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, there's got to be a way to get the bucket back.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I really wanted to see what would happen there with the big crushing things. I thought maybe the bucket would like stand up for me and keep me from getting crushed. I want to get that bucket back. So I can like... Somebody mentioned you could like try to fall off. Oh no.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Oh.
What horrible secret did this place hold?
Hold on.
Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Bonk.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more.
Absolutely.
And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game, with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section.
Oh,
you
boy.
won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are.
Oh.
We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it.
Oh my gosh.
Good job.
Clears throat.
2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. Used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier. Chase your
That's
dreams.
great.
Railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job.
Times
you did
5.
it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it.
Oh man, that's so
Good job,
funny.
you did it. Good job,
That's
you
hilarious
did
that they're like,
it. Good
acknowledging the bug, and they're like, you know what? We're gonna keep it in here. Let's just make fun of it. That was great. Oh, this game continues to astound me. All right, let's see if by some chance my
How
bucket
long
is
was I
back.
sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days?
Oh, that's
Centuries?
different.
Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're gonna go through the right door so we can get these other 2 figurines. I really wanna get
Stanley
those.
came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
Best line.
Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Perfectly well.
Perhaps he
I love
wanted to
that.
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Maybe something in here happens with the bucket.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had
Is it
really
now?
been, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
We've heard all this many times here.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh, I made a wrong turn. Warehouse is straight ahead. What's down here? I don't remember what's down here. I kind of wish I had my bucket now. I passed on the bucket because of what I was going to do.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Is this the confusing ending? If
Oh,
so,
no, it's to the right, my mistake.
this is a really long ending, and I don't want to go down this path without having the bucket. So we're going to restart this. There we go. If I had the bucket with me, I totally would have kept going with
Through
that.
this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need.
But with
If
this
I
right
can
here,
make it through
I want
this
to
door,
keep
I
trying
can
to do
make
the
it through
figurines
them
here
all.
for the moment. Looks like there's solitaire over there. Did I reset by some chance the input thing? I didn't even spot that. Trying to keep my eye out for additional screens that might have that. Yeah, I totally goofed that.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to
great.
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
All right, now we're in here.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, that's where I thought this was the conference room in front of me. That's why I turned.
Stanley was so bad
Okay.
at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, right there. Oh. Oh. Okay. I wondered about that vent.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all.
That's
you
right.
can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Okay, I gotta know, those of you who are watching this, how many of you are suckers for those collector type achievements inside of games as well? You really go out of your way to try to find them all. Am I the only one? Man, I wonder if I can get all the way down there somehow. I mean, I walked right off that ledge one time and I just died, but I don't know, maybe there's a safe way to get down from here. I want to see what's in this vent now. This is quite a construction they got here. What I got in here? Ooh. I'm somewhere else I'm probably not supposed to be. Help, help, the striped shirt savage is team on my tearing off my arm. Ow, beware the referee pain. Oh, I can't read that. Chapter 2, I think is what that says up there.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
Glitching?
So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
I'm a messenger from the printer. Hello. Printers get a lot of stick for not being as simple as they were in early noughties. They got a lot of hate for refusing to print when only one of the ink cartridges is empty. Yeah, I hear that. You think that's their call? They didn't design themselves. Educate yourself before you cast shade. Ink is printer blood. That means every time you print a document, it is written in blood. Think on that. Printing is a blood sport. Vegans shouldn't print. Printers are alive. Oh, that one almost looked like I could read that one, but okay, what's going on here?
That it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path.
What?
That it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path. That it
Are these
seemed the office had
tapes?
begun from so far off the beaten path. That it seemed the
Narrator
office had begun
dialogue?
from so
Are these
far off the
all
beaten
different
path.
dialogues?
That it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path. That it seemed
What in the
office had
world?
begun from so far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had
There's
begun
VHS
from
tapes?
so far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path.
This one's
That
kinda
it seemed
freaky.
The office had begun from so far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had begun from.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights.
My goodness.
How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Sorry. I went venturing into the vent. Okay, we got one more
Just a
figurine to
step through
find.
this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
It's like we're starting to get more and more new intros. Kind of freaking me out a little bit. Okay, Bucket, I'm not done with you. We will be back. Man, there's going to be a lot of endings added to the list of this video, that's for
When
sure.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Because I'm getting
Perhaps
some more
he wanted to
Bucket
stop
action
by
here
the
soon.
Employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I'm so excited that
The
these
lounge
figurines
was
are
sublime,
actually in the
a work of
game.
art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope, not yet. I think I know where that last one is.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look,
at those
Stanley, I think
planks.
perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing
I don't see any
your trust in
drops.
someone else
I don't
can
see any
be
spot I could
difficult,
drop
but
down there.
The fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting.
I still need to answer
Stanley.
that phone, too.
Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
It's
I don't
nothing
know how
personal.
to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Well,
Look,
good.
Let me prove it. Let me
I
prove
want
that I'm
this.
on your side. Give me a chance. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly
Savor
Wiggly.
this moment, Stanley.
I like
This
Stiggly Wiggly.
is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where
That's
so
right.
many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done.
It's done.
We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Oh, that's so funny. Now, I did notice on the achievement list, there was another one that talked, it had just 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, and I counted them up, and there was 48 8s. So, I don't know, maybe I just need to hit the key? Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 48. Nope. Okay. I didn't know if that was a thing.
Now listen
All right.
carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yes, I will. I didn't
Oh,
really...
thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these
Oh, this is the one I didn't really like. Okay, that one ended the same way, and I don't even really like that ending, so I just swooshed past that. I will check it again with the bucket at some point, but I was like...
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
What? This is interesting. When Stanley found the collectibles. This is peaceful. See, these are the endings that I really like. These are amazing. The memory zone. I don't see anything here. Let's check this. Can I open it? No. Okay, so we're gonna go down. This was still such a wild ride when I found this the first time. Our first kiss, my first car, the release of Stanley Parable in 2013. Oh. Ah. All right. So did he add like a new room here?
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
I didn't think I could grab it again. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad I clicked it. Can I pick? Oh. Uncontrollable collecting is what we're going to have going on here. Is he going to display these like in the order I found them too?
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley.
That's
I'll
right.
be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
That's right. What we got here? Boss's office under the
let's do
stairs.
a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you
Over
remember?
here? It was under the stairs. I do remember. This is so wild.
That's exactly right. It was here, under the stairs. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Wonder if that's a true fact. Okay.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
I don't think so. Okay, can't do anything with these. I'm gonna grab it. First, I'm checking to see if, it's random. Big pink apple room. Alright. I did not expect this at all, which, you know, I should have expected the fact that there was going to be more to that. I thought it was done. I thought we found him. We're like, yeah, boy, that's what we talk about.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly.
Yeah.
In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
By the narrator. What? What's that back there? It's mini stand number 5. That's hilarious. You found it near the cargo lift. Thanks for watching. Credits. Everything's the narrator. Starring Stanley.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
You know, since this is like memory lane, it makes me wonder if I could walk off. Oh, no, no, no. It's not letting me. Okay. I was like, maybe I can safely get down this time. This is wild how they're like all stitched together in a fancy way. Yep, here's the last one.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors.
Yep.
This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
That's hilarious. Okay, so it doesn't look like it matters which door I go through. Oh man, that's awesome. You are in the present. The past.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone. No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on.
We're not
Stop
yet.
the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Yes, I will do this. No matter how many different ways you put together, narrator.
Okay,
I am all for it.
The room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind.
This is what we
keep
just
going.
did.
I want more.
Me too. This is so hilarious.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Are we gonna play it again? It's a fast forward.
Yes, I love that video.
This is great. Man. Here's the big pink apple. Is that room pink? Inside
Still
the
don't
warehouse
remember
area?
the pink room, Stanley.
Yeah,
Still
me
no
neither.
memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
I agree. I know that room's dark. That's why I wondered if maybe we just don't see it lit up.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Oh, man. This is great. So you got it. Can I go over here now? No, it looks like that's a dead end. Wow. That's so fun. Get the bathroom.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Will do. Will do.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Part of me wonders if he's gonna, like, put even more out there. Oh, yeah. The very first one we grabbed. This is wild. Oh, I thought that was the infinity hole over there.
It's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually... Oh, yes! The two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
What's going on now? I'm I am a bit confused. We're about to end up back in my office?
And before everything else, there was your office.
The ultimate Stanley.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Oh.
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Is it really going to end? I mean, I thought I already found like what the ending one was, where it played the credits and stuff, but is it possible there's like...
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
I mean, I kind of don't want to pick up the bucket or anything. I want to see what happens. I'm going to follow the narrator. See what happens here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well, that sounds normal.
Yes, there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm listening to see if he says anything sounds a little different, but so far everything's sounding like a normal playthrough. Really curious. We're going to follow the narrator all the way to the end. We'll see what happens. It might just be the happy ending like normal, but...
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
That was funny getting to fall down there. They kept the bug in it and wrote a song about it. Rails mean nothing. Okay.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
That's weird. You know, I actually did expect, after we had that one ending where we ran across Mariana, whoever it was, the lady outside when I went crazy, I thought we were actually going to encounter more characters through some of these stories. But as of right now, aside from the bucket, haven't really met any other characters.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Private.
His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
have not been
But
back
here was
into
the
this
proof,
place.
The heart of the operation.
long
Controls
time.
labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that
So
this
weird.
machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Here we go. Let's see if something happens.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not
Looks like
been
it's gonna
to
be normal.
understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
It is an awesome ending, the way that goes. The music and everything is just amazing.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I mean, that sounds like a really happy ending. That's fantastic. Let's see if I end up back in the office. Okay, he did not retire me. It was completely, unless something happens when I walk out here, which has been known to happen. All right, let's keep going. We
All
got
of his
more.
co-workers were gone.
We got more bucket
What
stuff
could
we
it
need to
mean?
test.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
All right, let's see here. Let's grab you bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone.
That's right.
Not with the bucket
Not with the
around.
bucket. Okay, now let's head towards that ending.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Yep, we know
and
this part.
entered the door on his left.
I want to go basically do the happy ending, but I want to see what
Still no
happens
one
with
was
the bucket.
here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office.
I love
was
that
where
it still
he'd
has my
come into a
stickers.
staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the
That's
boss's
fantastic.
office.
You know, I am a little sad though that nothing really happened different.
Stepping
You know,
into
after he
the
said he was
manager's
going to
office,
retire him and
Stanley
everything,
was
I thought
once
there'd be
again
something that would
stunned
happen.
to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
The bucket.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always.
Always.
The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his
staring at
bliss
it.
of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most
I love
logical explanation.
The bucket is the reason for everything. That's so awesome. I want more stuff to happen to the bucket. Like for it to
The
get something in
elevator
it or
raced
something.
downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
You know what? I don't want to see the happy ending one yet.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Nope. I want to see what happens if
Although
this thing, if I still
passageway had
die.
the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent
And the
death.
bucket. Okay.
The
I
door
wanna
behind
see.
them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Now, me and
At
this bucket.
point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Hopefully, it's not going to be the exact same thing, only with the word and bucket added to everything. But they've gone all out on everything so far. I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't change this up in some fashion too. All right, bucket, what you gonna do for me here?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh, that's awesome.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Okay. Not yet, it looks like.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
What, we get a whole new area? Well, the bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within. A cavernous void, but through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? My goodness, as if they couldn't put this bucket on a bigger pedestal. This is hilarious.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
My goodness, look at this. 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. I mean, there's a lot more than 25 buckets there. This is so ridiculously funny. A bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and too recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. You know? I mean, yeah, I've seen mop buckets. It's got two handles on it. I don't know if I'd ever see a bucket style like that with two handles. That does seem kind of odd. Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains, no one can control a bucket. Curious if I could pick it up. I can't believe they made an entire exhibit for the bucket. It's awesome. Cave drawings. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. I mean, I wonder if I can jump off here. There's one more path I hadn't looked at yet, which makes me not want to do that yet, but I'm going to come back. It almost looks like a bucket itself, like I would be jumping into a bucket. So funny. All right. We'll see what's down that other side. If there's just a standard exit sign, we're going to try jumping in that hole. The stress bucket, an analogy. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance. Rest and relaxation. Doing something you enjoy. Rest and relaxation. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. Presented without commentary. Oh, you know what? There may not be another path. Maybe that is how we get out of here. Because that's where we came from, right? Let's go jump down the big hole. Now, she tells us we can back out. That's the only way not to get crushed. I'm still going to let it crush us because in the previous, without the bucket, I got the same ending no matter what. So I don't think there's going to be two different endings. I want to see if something happens if it tries to crush us. Is it blue over there? I feel like that's something we should be able to go to. All right, here we go. Oh. Walked out into midair. Grab the bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Oh. Okay, that's it. Nothing else fancy happened there. Well, that's funny. I did not expect there to be a whole nother area for that. Okay, let's do one more.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
For now? Okay. All right, so yeah, let's grab that bucket. Let's do one more. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to grab the bucket, and we're going to go answer the phone. Even though I don't know what it looks like to answer the phone without the bucket.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
That's right.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chin. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
That's right. I guess I haven't really done much with the bucket this way yet.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps. No, never mind. The bucket was
Oh, I wonder if I
wrong.
should have stayed in there.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nope, not this time.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Did I have the bucket when I went through that vent? I don't think I did. I went and got the Stanley thing. I'll have to check that one again, too. There's so much to redo
Good,
now because I got the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
That's so funny. All right, so let's see what's going to happen here.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home where we can go about life together.
Oh.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
What? I played the demo. What? Where are we at now? Oh, look. They're different forms of the bucket. This is wild looking. Can I interact with anything here? I can't see all the way around that. Okay. Oh, there's the bucket. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press K to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Okay. Press G to take me back home.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Oh, wow. J to go back to work?
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket.
This is weird.
It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Q. Don't listen to the loud man. Press Q to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from, me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket, this stupid hunk of metal.
Press V to ignore anyone in your life except me.
Sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore.
It is a
From
sad
now on,
ending.
he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
It's shiny. We like it shiny. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press T to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it
Oh,
doesn't
no.
quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more,
He's falling for it now, too.
Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Can I get on the couch? Bucket's just watching some TV. Oh, look, I did get up here. What are we watching? Press F to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at
Oh, no.
carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
I was trying to see if maybe the shadow casting there was like looking at a particular shape or something. Press F to go home, to work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings.
He is having feelings for the bucket.
No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
The bucket's getting romantic. Oh. There's a picture of the bucket on the wall. That's hilarious. Jazz night with a bucket. Now it does say 13 on that clock. This one in here said nothing but zeros this whole time. Okay.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Go back to work, Stanley. That was really weird. Okay, we're going to do this one more time because I want to see what the phone ending is, what the normal phone ending is, because I'll probably appreciate the differences a lot more.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right, so I'm going to... I thought about swooshing there.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors.
We won't swoosh there. It's not that far.
The correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Besides, you wouldn't get to hear that line again if I swooshed
first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, deeply, madly, love.
Well, that's different. Did something change in here?
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really
Okay,
worth.
but doesn't look like
eager to
anything
get back
changed.
to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. We didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I like that line too. That's pretty good.
Look, Stanley, I think
still wish there was
perhaps
a way to
we've
get down
gotten off on
there.
the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Mm-hmm.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please.
It's not the bucket.
Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Now, I do remember there was one ending I got
This
to.
is it,
I
Stanley.
think it was the down again,
Your
up again
chance
elevator.
To redeem yourself.
Said I had a
To put
wife, I
your
think.
work aside. To let her back into
So I
your
wonder if
life.
that's who this is.
She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Let's do it. There we go. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you
freaky.
had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
That was really freaky. I did not expect that.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
The death? Good morning, employee 427. Press P on your keyboard. Should I? Is there nothing else I can do? Okay.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Please press H.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Press P.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
I mean, at least the bucket was showing me affection. Bucket gave me more love than this thing over here.
And so he began to fantasize about
Watch
his
TV?
own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press B to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could
So
go
weird.
through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press H to prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it
Oh,
with
no.
many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions.
I remember that one.
And down another was a game with a baby.
Remember that
and
one?
he called it the Stanley Parable.
Z to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press M to tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
I'm back in
The
my
longer he
office.
spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Press K to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Please press T to be at work in the morning. But it's like, I feel like this is another one of the situations with the skip button. I can sit here and wait a long time, but inevitably I have to push the button. I know that's like the point the game keeps trying to make over and over again, so I'm just going to push it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press G to question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please
And
die.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
I didn't push any button. I don't know if something different happens when you push a button. Wow. Okay, I gotta say, the bucket ending, I think the bucket ending was better. That one was kind of sad, but I know that's kind of what they were going for. Okay, well, there we go. We got another set, a lot. I'm gonna have a big section to add to that table for the next one. A lot more parables. There's definitely more endings we can experiment with that bucket. So yeah, there will be more Stanley Parables. We've still not finished this game. This has been a lot of fun. I'm so glad you guys are still enjoying it. And that's going to be a wrap on this one. Until next time, you all be safe out there, and I will see you on the next one.